my name is Scylla, and today I'm going to be talking about money. Now, if you watch any of my videos, you're well aware of the fact that I am a Lolita. Lolita is something that unfortunately requires money, however much you budget. And I'm lucky enough to have been working for the last 5 years to save up for the stuff that I have. But I also spent a big chunk of my life being unemployed and also confined to my room. Back in the day, it was a lot harder to find stuff here and there outside of like selling things on eBay or just filling out surveys for practically nothing. So I know what it's like to go years and years and years without being able to buy even like an off-brand dress. It sucks. It sucks really, really bad. But things have changed a lot over the last 10 years, and it's very possible now to make money from home in ways that weren't really viable back then. I felt like it was really necessary to put this out there because I'm not a money-making channel. There are plenty of those out there, but a lot of what I do here comes from having earned money, and it's just really, it sucks seeing people struggle. I don't like it. So if this can help in any small little tiny way, then I really want to try it and do it at least. Now, I cannot promise that these methods will work in all countries, and nor am I saying that this is a quick fix to earn an easy buck. Making money does take effort, but I firmly believe that if you hold to a specific thing and stick with it, in addition to consistently working at it, then it will eventually pay off. So the things that I'm going to be listing are relative to me and people that I know. And number one is self-publishing, which you may have already heard before. It was something that did exist back in the day. You could go onto Amazon and self-publish your own book. You could do it as a paperback, but you could also do it as an ebook. Nowadays, things have opened up and you have more places to do that, which means more opportunities. You could use Apple Books, Google Play, Kobo. And this is just such a great opportunity for anyone who loves writing. It could be fantasy, smut, cookbooks, poems, mental health, tips on how to make money. You could do literally whatever you want. Now, I have published before in the past, and with zero marketing, I was actually able to create a small fan base, and I earned a couple hundred. No, I will not give away my pen name. That would defeat the purpose. And also, I ended up unpublishing my stuff after I started working full-time because it just became way too stressful. But it serves as proof to me that it is very possible. That being said, any side hustle requires time and effort and knowledge. It's not just sitting down and actually writing the thing. You have to edit, you have to find a book cover, and ideally you'll need to have your own brand. Now, these are all things that I very much enjoy, so it would be easier for me to choose something like this. If you are not into that but you still love writing, I'm going to bring you to number 2, which is ghostwriting. So years ago, I used Upwork, which, if you don't know, is just a website where a bunch of freelancers can come together of all various different fields of work. It used to be entirely free, but now I think that the jobs you can apply for are limited. But how it worked for me with ghostwriting was that someone, whoever my boss was, owned a single pen name, and they would pay a group of people to either write or edit books. And they were short novellas, being like maybe up to 25,000 words, so like 12 chapters. And they were successful because they stuck to a specific niche, and they also had a very strict formula to follow. The characters had to be a certain way. There were certain things that could not be included, like no mention of things that just the audience wouldn't want to hear. So I used to earn $200 to $400 writing short paranormal romances. It was not my shtick, and it was very soul-crushing, but I was desperate for anything, so I did it. I quit as soon as I was able to, and I also signed a non-disclosure agreement, so I to this day don't know what pen name I was writing for. It's unfortunate because I'd like to find it. But even if it wasn't for me, if you're someone who's really good at following short, structured ways of writing, it could be beneficial for you to look into that. So number 3 is going to be freelance work, and I just wanted to put it out there. I know it's pretty vague, but I did mention Upwork. So the last time I used it was like 6 years ago, and it's become oversaturated since then. But if you have enough references, there is a chance that you could find something good on there. Another option is Fiverr. And in addition to writing, here are some other examples of things that you can do if you have that in your skill set. And if you have any of these things, I would also just recommend looking up these terms along with freelance on the side on Google to see what pops up. So for number 4, I want to go back to Amazon really quick because I did state that you could publish paperback items, but you can be really creative with it because it doesn't have to be books or like stories with lots of words. In fact, a lot of people have boasted about selling low content books, basically being notebooks, schedules, planners, things that can be really easy to make on places like Canva, which is free. There are plenty of YouTube videos that go into depth about this, and especially since the pandemic hit, it's become uber duper popular. I have seen some results from trying this myself, but to be honest, I just haven't put the effort in to actually get it going, and I have no desire to because I already have a lot on my plate right now. So 5 is going to be another option from Amazon, but this is for the artists out there, which is a coloring book. And I feel like if you work part-time but you're really good at drawing, this would be a really fun side hustle. If you enjoy drawing kawaii stuff or just Lolita or just general J fashion or food or maybe hentai girls, like whatever it is, there's a niche for that. And this is also something that I've tried out for myself, so if anyone would like me to do an in-depth video on how I did that and how I did all the formatting, feel free to ask. I can try and work something out. So for number 6, it is voice acting. If you're a gamer or you're making videos or something, you might already have a really good mic. And if you have that and a quiet space, you can definitely try it out for yourself. I actually know someone who started out producing music for video games. He wrote from home, and it just so happened that the game designers needed some voice actors as well. And he was able to do it because he had all the basic equipment that he needed at home. But he realized that he actually liked it a lot, so now currently he's just a full-fledged voice actor. So for anyone who's interested in that, I would definitely suggest trying that out on Fiverr just to start with, to kind of build up a portfolio, trying to figure out what specialization you work better with, like commercial or video games or characters or like anime uwu girls or NSFW. There are a lot of options, and if you want to take it a step further, you can even do audiobooks, which can actually be pretty stressful, pretty hard to get into. It's a lot of work, but you can make some good money doing that. So number 7, if you are making anything at all, you could open a shop on Etsy, or not even Etsy. It could be Shopify or Store Envy or some other place. The reason that I say Etsy to start with is because without marketing, Etsy already has its own audience that can find you whether you market yourself or not. That being said, I do have beef with them, and I am waiting for a better website to come along. But the thing is that Etsy has gotten to a point where it's so popular and it's been around for so long, people trust their platform. Buyers, at least. Buyers trust their platform. And it takes years for any website to earn that level of trust. So hopefully in the future that changes and some other place comes along that treats their sellers better. Now, if this is something that interests you, I think Store Envy, you can now only list 20 things for free. With Shopify, you have your own place. You can make it look however you want, but it does cost a minimum of $30 per month to keep it going. And for Etsy, it is 20 cents per listing, in addition to whatever supplies you need to make whatever it is you're gonna make. It could be jewelry and accessories, paints, wedding invitations, mouse ears, candles. Remember when candles were like super big? Or soap? I think you need like a certificate or something to sell soap now. I'm not sure. But anyway, there's so much stuff. If you make art prints, stickers like I used to, I wouldn't suggest jumping in head first and just spending all this money for supplies without knowing that you're guaranteed to get some of it back. What I'm saying is, if you're already doing something, you might as well try putting it out there. So number 8 is digital items. Etsy is not only used for physical things. People like me use their cutting machines for stickers that we've downloaded. Digital planners are also really popular, as is digital art that people can print out themselves. And if you're good at designing things, you can also put together logos and thank you cards for smaller businesses, as well as Instagram templates or blogger templates. If you create websites, you can make like WordPress themes or Shopify themes. Animated Twitch overlays are pretty popular, and stuff like this really doesn't have to be that complicated. Like, if you can use Canva, you can get away with making a whole bunch of stuff without actually having to put in too much work. But if you do want to see success from anything like this, you will have to have a number of items that are cohesive and all stick to the same theme. Otherwise, when shoppers visit your store, they're probably going to be confused. You're also going to have to worry about how you list things. But if you have free time and a couple dollars here to spend on listings, and there's really no reason not to try it out, but I would definitely do research into it. So number 9 is dropshipping, and this actually isn't something that I would condone depending on how it's done. What this implies is basically opening up your own shop, say from Shopify, and then listing items that you found on AliExpress or Alibaba for just a little bit of a markup. And then when someone orders from your site, you make the order from AliExpress or Alibaba and you ship it to their home address. Or you go ahead and stock your own space with these items beforehand, and then when someone orders, you already have them ready to ship out. Now obviously if you do this, you'll have to stick with a particular theme. I've seen it being done with makeup. Eyelashes were very big for a time. Washi tape and other stationery was very big, but overall I think fashion is probably the most popular, and in some cases it just really kills me because I've seen several younglings on YouTube posting reviews about their $38 t-shirt that they got from some website which just resells things from AliExpress that you could get for $4 to $7. So FYI, if you happen to see this here, chances are that you are on one of these insanely marked up dropshipping stores. Now in some cases, I personally would be one of those people willing to pay a little bit extra when it comes to these kinds of websites because 1, I'm supporting someone's business, and 2, they can make it really convenient to just have everything that fits your style there. Whereas if you go to Alibaba or AliExpress, it's just very messy. It's just really hard to sort through stuff. A lot of the same things pop up over and over again. So I would happily pay just a few dollars extra for the convenience. However, a 300% markup, I'm gonna say pass. So if you do go through with this method, just please do it fairly. I would do just enough to cover the Shopify fee and then just a little bit more. Also, don't claim that you made the item. That's messed up. So number 10 is to design your own merchandise. And if you like making catchy designs, this could really be a fun one. There are places like Cafe Press, Zazzle, Spreadshirt, Threadless, and Society6. And these places allow you to design your own customized shirts, cups, notebooks, pillows, etc., and put them for sale. If you aren't good at art at all, but you still know how to use Photoshop, you can also find free commercial use images on places like Pixabay or Unsplash or something like that. Just edit things and try and see if anything works. Now of all of these, I've had the most success with Zazzle, but they're probably my least favorite to work with because the web design is just not that great. So number 11 is transcribing. As someone who's done a lot of writing in my life, it just was something that really interested me. Basically, it involves sitting down, listening to an audio file, and putting that to words. And it's something that's been around for a long time. 10 years ago, when I was looking for ways to make money, I did come across this, but the technology was a little not great and just the audio files were really difficult to make out. But things have since changed. Technology has come a long way in the last 5 years alone, so it is a lot easier to hear things. However, you really won't make a whole lot doing this, especially if you're like on a website with an as-needed basis. I'd say the average is like 50 cents to $2 per every minute of audio, but again, it's something as like a last resort. There is also a very strict structure to follow when creating documents, which can make it a little bit difficult to be chosen. So number 12 is tutoring. If you have a degree or excel in a particular subject or language, this can be a really cool option. And there's really not too much more for me to say about this. I know people who've done it as like a side thing, but they've ended up making some pretty good money, especially having the references to back it up. Pretty much any degree or certificate, that'll really help. If you don't feel comfortable working like one-on-one with individuals on the internet, it is also possible to like build your own website and put together like a web seminar. This way you have like a pre-made set of videos and you don't have to talk directly to anyone, but they can still message you and you can respond and stuff, and they'll pay money to see those videos and learn whatever it is that you're teaching. So number 13 is to sell your photography, and pretty much if you have experience or even if you're just starting out as a hobby, you can submit your images to places like Shutterstock. They will have to be a decent quality, especially if you expect to have anyone download them, and really at best you'll only probably make a few dollars here and there. But if you have multiple images that are being downloaded, that's still, you know, little coins here and there that are adding up. So more money is more money. That's all I'm saying. So number 14 is pretty basic. It's just selling clothes or shoes or unused makeup on Poshmark or Depop. And if your closet is lacking in cool stuff, I actually knew a girl who made money from purchasing items from the Goodwill and then reselling them for a few dollars more because she knew what was trending and she knew what was in style. She knew what would sell. Now, I can't imagine doing something like that for myself because it's just a lot of effort. But again, she had an eye for it and she made good money from that. So finally, for number 15, I would have to say YouTube. I've been making videos for a few years now, but I want to say it was last April that I started posting consistently once a week. And by August, I had gotten monetized. Now, the videos that I make are very small, specific type of video. So I never thought that it would happen that quickly, but it did. And at the time of filming this, I've earned enough off of YouTube to buy a secondhand brand, and it didn't actually really cost me anything. The point leading up to me getting monetized, I had just been filming with my phone. I always tried to make sure that I had good lighting, but aside from that, I wasn't really doing anything fancy. I was just talking. My personality isn't the most exciting, so I just think that if I can do it, you can do it. Really, there's just nothing better than getting a little bit here and there for something that I would be doing anyway. But yeah, those are all of my suggestions, and I realize a lot of them are geared more towards like creative individuals, but really, if you're doing any side hustle, it does require some level of creativity to get it going. Now, before I end, I really want to stress that even though these are meant to be side things, they do require work. In the end, I find that success mostly depends on your skill set and your schedule. The more available you are, the better. You can't just open a shop or write a book and put it out there and forget about it and expect the money to come in. There are always extra little steps. You have to keep at it, you have to market. For the best results, I have one key piece of advice that I got from a very wise man. And he said, never half-ass two things, always whole-ass one thing. So I would start with choosing one side gig and really build that up. And if after some time has passed and you feel like it just isn't working at all, go ahead and move on to the next thing. I fell into the trap of having 4 side projects, and in the end it was just way more stress than it was worth. And as much as it hurt me, I had to drop 2 of those things. But as a result, I hope to see more progress from the first project especially. I think that's better rather than focusing my efforts into 4 different areas. But I am also working full-time, so we'll see how well that pans out. Anyway, I really hope that this was helpful in some way if you were looking for this kind of thing. Again, if anyone wants like an in-depth video on how I made a coloring book or any of these other topics, I do have some experience with them, so feel free to ask. Aside from that, thanks for watching if you watched, and I will see you next time. Bye!